answering a few of your questions that I asked you. So on 24th December year 2015, I wrote, hello, I need book questions, so shoot away, don't you fancy seeing your username on YouTube. So got 9 likes and 13 comments. So Shubham Pandey, now he's a 15 years old writer, new writer from India, and he wrote a book called The Book of James Karam, yeah. So you should check that out, and thank you Shubham. Usually I call him Pandey for ruining Star Wars, for adding me to the group, you know, some jerk when I gave spoilers alert. So not Pandey's fault. So but he tried to reassure me that he saw the ending, it was nothing like that. It ended up being the opposite. So Pandey wrote, okay, what sort of book questions? I replied, I don't know, that's why I am asking. Pandey, maybe a few questions on how to write, what to write, how to frame a story and stuff. Usually I think you learn all this from school, or maybe you can get some books, or you know, you can read advice on writers and how they write. You know, for me usually I just write down my ideas and then just edit it. So one question down. Next one, Rashad Grayson. Hi, what book or story would help decrease the amount of anger and hate in our world? Usually book is one of the cause of anger and hatred. So you know, you can see history books and then all kinds of books. You know, there's hate speech and then wrongdoings. I don't think so we can look to advice on books. You know, I think it's our own individual behavior. So maybe if you want, you can say Harry Potter, you know. So Suzai Barana, hello Suzai. What books, novels that will make people change their perception? For example, How to Kill a Mockingbird, you know, that's one of the books. So there's actually quite a number of books, but I can't really recall them right now. But you know, you have to go through them and continue reading. So Maya L. Hockey, how reading calms down stress. Reading takes you to another place, another dimension, and another universe. You daydream, you know, you can imagine you're reading a book, then you can imagine the scene, you know, the ballroom, the guests, the gowns, the dress, you know, the styles, the talking, you know, the necklace, you know, the scenes, the dancing. So that's one of the great things that about books, you know, it turns into a movie. So in your imagination. So yeah, it calms down stress, especially, you know, after a long day of work, or you're tired studying. So if you read a book, you know, it calms down the stress because your mind is somewhere else. So Jennifer Chen, hi Jennifer, how are you? How reading calms you and makes you wiser. Wiser, especially you learn new things, you know, like if you read biographies and everything, you know, certain books, you know, you can learn about their mistakes and all that. So Kiki Minya Dou, what do you feel when you read? I get very emotional. I cry a lot. You know, for example, I read Thomas Hardy 2 books. I read 2 of his books. One was Testimonials, I can't really remember the title, and Far from the Madding Crowd. So those 2 books make me cry. And then David Nichols One Day made me cry on my birthday. So my parents were thinking I went. So yeah, books make me feel emotional, but usually books don't really makes me feel happy, especially if there's a great ending. But somehow when you go into serious books, you know, some books, the ending's like. So Kiki Miniado, now questions. Hi Kiki. Which was your first book you read? My first real book was Annie Blyton, The Brave Little Puppy. My dad bought it for me when I was around 8 years old. He took me to a bookstore, and the bookstore on the right hand side had a shelf full of Annie Blyton books. So one of my first book he bought was The Brave Little Puppy, which I fell in love because of Annie Blyton, the way how she wrote her books, the stories, you know, I love that kind of book. So I highly recommend, if you're a parent, you go and get Annie Blyton book. So I remember after that, The Watering Can, and then the Rabbit Whiskers, you know, following up with the books. Then after I collected over 60 books. Maybe one of these days I'll show you my collection. I still have the books. So, Nada Walid, how you imagine when you read? Do you understand the real purpose of the book? What do you think of it? Most of the time, yes, I get what is the main purpose of the story, what's the point, the plot. But sometimes, you know, if you read boring books, you just drift away. So, yeah, usually I imagine when I'm reading. So, usually when somebody disturbs me, it's like... So, yeah. Tasneem Azim Raya, when you read a book, what do you feel? Does it feel too bad to see a character go, or you burst into happiness when you read what you want to happen in it? Usually I don't get too emotional when I read books, only when it's really really sad plots, you know, the character dies or character commits something wrong, you know, so yeah, I get emotional. Rashad Grayson, how to encourage kids to pick up a book instead of a gun or become addicted to reading instead of drugs? I think it's in your own individual character. You know, some people like to read books, some people don't like to read books, but we can encourage it. We can make reading sound cool. Maybe like this group, you know, we can make people active. So how to encourage? My parents make usually I was a kid who ran around, run. So my parents always thought that my brother will become the reader. So it's quite a surprise for them when I started reading and started collecting books. So I think it's, you know, how is your I don't know, character. So but I think parents from a young age, maybe they can do their part to read books to their children, and then maybe take them to bookstores and take them to conventions, you know, book conventions and all that. Ashwisha Sahu, what to read to get over a reading slump? Let's see, there's 5 previous replies. Maya wrote, what's a reading slump? Visha wrote, it's like you just can't pick up a book and read it, like no book seems good enough to read, like you can't read anything. Maya wrote, oh, now when she wrote, Maya said, like the time when you finish a book series and you don't wanna read anything else cause it's boring. If that's the meaning, then I'm pretty sure this is the best one. Avisha, yeah, it's something like that. Usually I read comics. Usually I read comic books like Get Fuzzy, Baby Blues, Archie's, Jacket, you know, all the comics usually, because sometimes when you read too many books and then, you know, you could, like she said, reading slump. So you get into that part where you don't feel like reading, so the best is to stop and then maybe continue next time. Maybe give yourself a 1 week rest and just do something else, watch a movie or what. So thank you so much. If you have any more questions, just message me and I'll answer them on this video. So thank you so much, and thank you for being so supportive to everybody, and sorry if I mispronounce anything, so mispronounce your name. So thank you so much and bye.